What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Everybody versus Life. This is a podcast where oranges stay oranges and bananas stay bananas. My name is Blanc.
And my shoes are always tan, and my pants are always tight, and my name is Eric.
So today's theme is going to have to revolve around relationships.
Yes, sir.
We have a list of questions that we're going to kind of go through and just give our answers. Does that work for you?
Yeah, works for me. Okay, so I think we can start with you first. First question I have in mind is, do you want children?
I do, just not right now. I understand that you have a child, but I think I want to be financially stable.
Yeah.
You know, but there was a point in time where I did kind of question if I wanted kids. But that was very situational. But, you know, after taking a step back and reevaluating my values, you know, I just couldn't picture my life without any children. And so that kind of realigned it for myself. But yeah, going back to it, you know, just waiting for the right girl to come and let the money be right and we'll go from there, realistically.
Yeah.
Because I see all these people struggling with kids because they weren't ready, but they wanted the kid.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, more power to you, but I think you kind of have to be...
Excuse me.
I think there's a sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you want to
100%.
You want to bring a kid into the world when you can actually provide for yourself, your partner, your kid. You know, 'cause you never know. It could be one kid. It could be twins. It could be triplets. And if you're not financially stable, it's just going to flip your whole world around. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
What about you? Well, I guess we can kind of change up the question a little bit for you because you do have a kid.
Yeah.
When you had your child, were you ready?
Here's the thing, and I think a lot of parents can speak for it when they had their first child or if they only had one child, is that you can never prepare for a kid. Like, as much as you can, as much discipline as you have, as much money as you have, like, each child is different.
Right.
And the only thing I can say is be prepared for the sleepless nights. And as long as you're, like what you said, as long as you're financially stable, I think the only thing you have to worry about is the child. But it is a little scary at first. I think to go off of that, though, do I want any more kids?
Yeah.
I don't know. Never say never, but my first one was tough, especially the first 3 months, and I think that's what everyone says. I don't know if I can go through that again, but never say never. I've always been that person who wanted 4 or 5 kids.
Like a big family.
I don't know if that's considered big, but definitely
nowadays it's considered big.
Yeah. I'd probably say, yeah. I've always wanted 4 or 5 kids, but after having my daughter, Lennon, I don't know. It's tough because even now I'm struggling to, not pay for daycare or anything, but I'm just struggling mentally to take care of myself, but also take care of another life form.
Right, and that kind of falls back to everything being situational. You know, like if you had your mental health, you know, on point, you had nothing to worry about, you had a good paying job, you know, you might look at it and be like, okay, you know, I think I can handle another kid. You know, you got a supportive partner. You could be like, all right, I'm ready.
Yeah, shout out to Greg, by the way, from our last episode 3.
If you didn't watch it, check it out. It's a really, really good episode.
Yeah, super funny. Father of 2. Love Greg. Glad to have him on.
Awesome, dude. I guess we'll go to the next question.
Okay. All right. This one is tough. Do you want to get married?
I do, but do I think it's necessary? Not so much nowadays. Because at least the way I kind of look at it is the title of husband and wife is just a title. It's the same as boyfriend, girlfriend, domestic partners, being in a relationship, right? I mean, it might change when I meet the love of my life. But I think even right now, the way I look at it is, a lot of people get married for financial issues, like insurance purposes, legal purposes. But you take all that out, is it necessary to get married? I don't think so. But I'm at that fine line between yes and no, because I feel like everything I said is what I believe, but being married is just another level of commitment that you can show your partner. But I don't know. That's kind of how I feel. So I'm kind of up in the air about it.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I mean, the viewers don't know, but I was married, divorced back in January. But would I go through that again? As right now, no. Just because
Like the divorce or the marriage?
the marriage, just the whole process of that and the whole process of divorce, it sucked.
So are you scared to get married because you're scared of divorce now?
I think I'm scared to trust people.
Right.
And because I put all my eggs into that basket. And
well, that's as you should. As being husband and wife,
Yeah.
you should. You know what I mean?
I don't know. And I mean, just with that question, would I ever get married again? Just like the prior question, never say never, but it's tough because I'm kind of on the edge of, if you love that person, you don't have to prove it to the state or to the government that you're together. You don't need to do that. As long as you love that person and they love you back, yeah. But I will say though, I do love that experience of having like going through the wedding and planning it and, seeing them in the dress for the first time. I love seeing that. And, I'm not going to say no to, I don't know whoever that next person is, but
God damn.
but I never say never.
So I feel like we're both kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Question 3, Eric. Goddamn, come on.
He just wants to love you.
Question 3. What do you think is the most important element in maintaining a relationship?
Okay, so this is a good one. I think everyone says this, but he just wants to lay on you. You might have to accept it.
Never look a cat in its eyes.
But okay, so what is the what's the most important element in maintaining a relationship?
Yeah.
100% communication.
Facts. That was my answer too.
Yep. It is 100% communication, because that person, and I've struggled with this, and I still struggle with this. And this is also communicating with my family. I've always kept things inside just because I don't like to share things, because I don't like to be vulnerable. But my ex-wife and my family know that I'm a very vulnerable person. So that kind of explains it. But yes, the number one element to maintain a relationship is definitely communication. And there's more to it, but that is probably the number one thing for me.
Yeah, for sure. Like I tell every ex-partner that I've had, communication is key, and it seems like a lot of the time they agree. But in the actual relationship, it seems like it's difficult for them to communicate. That's not even just holding a conversation. That's bringing up like problems and issues and concerns and all that. And maybe it was just the partners that I've had in the past, but they all seem to like close themselves down and stick to themselves.
Yeah, and this is coming from my experience, and I don't blame them, because sometimes that person just don't want to share every single little minuscule thing.
Right.
And that was kind of me. And I don't know. I'm still a firm believer in it. Like, not everything has to be shared, regardless of how close you are to that person, because I don't know. I think that's just a human trait where you don't want to share everything.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. But I think communication, like, you don't need to share everything, you know, but it's the big things that you need to share.
Yeah.
Like if your significant other is mad at you,
Yep.
I want to know why you're mad at me so I could try to fix it.
Or the things where if you want to have kids, right?
Facts.
Yep.
Facts.
If you want to have kids, what are your religious views? I don't weigh that a lot, but I know some people do.
Right.
Yeah, just things like that.
Yeah, talking about your values. See if they align.
Yeah.
And it's better to get that out of the way in the beginning. Because if you don't, then you just end up wasting time. So, but yeah, I think communication is up there as one of the top factors for maintaining a healthy relationship.
For sure. All right, next question. What is the number one thing you look in a partner? We're talking excluding just the number one thing.
Am I doing like looks or
let's just do in general. The number one thing.
in general?
It's a tough one.
Yeah, because there's a lot, you know. Like, I could say loyalty.
Dude, he loves you.
He's like giving me the death stare, bro.
Yeah.
Is it the death stare?
No.
Is he trying to kill me?
No.
I'm trying to avoid eye contact.
No, he just wants you to pet him.
But yeah, I could say loyalty. I could say a sense of humor. You know, but I feel like everybody else would say that. So out of those, like outside of those two, I would just say, like they have to have the same amount of admiration that I have for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have to have the same amount of love that I have for them.
Yeah, 100%.
Because if it don't, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's very tough to make it work.
For sure.
So, but that's top three with a sense of humor and loyalty, though.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want to use those two because everybody else usually gives those answers. What about you?
Speaking from prior experience, the number one thing I look in a partner is just for them to understand. With the past relationships that I've had, and
Bro,
come on.
Can you grab your cat, please?
Come here.
I have a small allergy to cats.
With the past relationships that I've had,
Go ahead,
and
keep on
I think
answering.
everyone can speak for it.
Keep on answering. I'm gonna grab a lint roller real quick.
With the past experience that I've had with it, I've always moved at the speed of light, if that makes sense. Because the grass is always greener for me, and I think that's with most people. It's just I try to move at the speed of sound, the speed of like lightning, speed of light, per se. And that's what makes it tough for a significant other to understand. You don't have to move as fast as me, but I'm always going to see that the grass is always greener. And one of the things that my therapist said was, yes, the grass is always greener, but it doesn't have to be now. And I'm slowly understanding that, and I'm just hoping that whoever comes to my life, whoever they are, friends or next significant other, is that I just like to move at that pace. And I might just come off as a little crazy, but I'm not. It's just some people are just like that, I think.
Good answer.
Is this my question or is this yours?
It doesn't matter. Whoever want to ask for.
Okay.
All right, Eric. What is your favorite thing to do on a date?
Ooh. Okay. Here's the thing. The last relationship that I've had was back in 2011. And I don't think I've ever been on an actual date. Because
all right, let's do it like this then. Well, we'll give two answers, right?
okay.
Since you say, I'm sure when you had your significant other before, you guys went on dates,
Yeah.
right? So we'll do it two ways. For you, what would your ideal first date be? And then for your second one, it's Just a regular date. Because, you can go on dates after, like,
Yeah.
months of dating.
I think date, I don't know. It might be the stereotypical one. Go for dinner, maybe a movie after.
Okay. That's a first date or just a regular date?
Could be both. Yeah.
Good answer.
But I think for like after, it'll probably be just like, yeah, go for dinner, have some wine, go do something, something fun, something you both have never tried. I don't know. I'm just trying to speak from experience and like, the things I've learned. And yeah, I'd probably say, yeah, just do something you both never done before. Just experience it.
Yeah, I would say the same thing for just a general date. Doing something that you both find fun and enjoyable. Something where you can actually talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like going to the movies for dates. If we're going to go to the movies, we're just going to go hang out. Like with me and my significant other, we're just going to go hang out.
Yeah.
To me, I don't consider that part of the date because you don't really talk to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, I can see the experiencing the same thing together.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I'm a big believer in communication. Like I like
to have talks,
right?
Mm-hmm.
But for my first date, everybody typically says, movie, dinner,
mm-hmm.
or walk in the park or whatever. I keep mine super short, super simple. I try not to do it at night. So I kind of keep it towards like, oh, let's go grab brunch.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hey, let's go grab a cup of coffee. Because it keeps it short, especially if it's a first date. Because first date is where you test the waters to see how good the connection is or how well the vibe is. Right? Because if you do a movie and a dinner, you're committing 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours. But with the cup of coffee, that's 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? And if you don't feel that vibe, hey, it's only 20 minutes. You still got your whole day.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. But maybe that's why I'm so single.
Okay. All right. Next question. Okay. This is a tough one. Have you ever been cheated on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to go into details?
Well, there's not a lot to go into. Just when me and my ex were together, she was just seeing somebody else too.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. It don't matter what they were doing. It just kind of happened, and yeah, it hurt. But you kind of just, you don't ever really get over it. You just kind of live with it.
Yeah.
And then it builds up walls for you to try to commit again.
Yeah.
Because after I got cheated on, I probably went close to 3 to 4 years being single.
Really?
Yeah, watching my homies get with girls, and like watching my best buds from high school get married and popping out kids, and and I'm sitting here like,
was I included in that? No. Right.
When did you get married?
2019. Or was it 2018? Oh no.
I think it was 2019 you got married, right?
2018 April. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I got cheated on in
No, it would have been. But yeah, continue.
I think it was.
Because I know you during the time that I asked you to come to my wedding, you were already out of the state because of a funeral.
Yeah, yeah, my uncle's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just seeing everybody get married, popping out children, and I'm sitting here like talking to girls, but not committing myself to girls because I was scared of that commitment because I didn't want to get, fucked over again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad to say because that's something that it's a risk either way. If you've never been cheated on, there's always going to be that risk of being cheated on.
Mm-hmm.
But you just kind of have to suck it up and try it. But for the longest time, like, I would not commit for the longest time.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It's sad because I feel like if that didn't happen, you know, I could possibly be like, I feel like there's plenty of girls that I've missed my chance with because of the situation.
Oh yeah,
You know, who could have potentially,
right.
you
You
know,
lose
been,
that trust.
right,
Yeah.
right. But yeah, back to the question. I've been cheated on.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
No. I don't think so. I might have had like suspicion, but I don't think I've ever been cheated on. I can speak on behalf of like maybe being sympathetic with my parents. My dad has done, you know, a plethora of things,
Right.
but you know, I'm not going to talk about their story. But I don't think I've ever been cheated on, so I think that's my answer. Is no.
Okay. Well, that's good. I hope it never happens.
I hope not, dude.
Because it's. Dude, I
'Cause
feel,
I'm really trying not to get my heart broken.
that is a different kind of heartbreak.
Yeah.
Not even just like a regular breakup, like, oh, you know, we have different views in life, so I don't think we're gonna work out.
Because I've never experienced it, I can definitely be sympathetic about it, but empathetic, because I've never been through it,
Right.
that's a no.
Yeah. You know, like I said, it's a different kind of heartbreak because it's not like what I was saying. It's not like, oh yeah, we both have different ideas of the future. It's more so of you get that feeling of I wasn't good enough.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I
like,
mean?
dude, if you're gonna do that, just leave me.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said too.
Like, why would you go behind my back while we're together? Just leave me. At least I know that you didn't want to be with me, and then you can do the stuff with another person because that's not your job anymore.
Or if I'm gonna find out you cheated on me, at least break up with me and then let me find out instead of finding out while we're still together.
Right.
That shit sucks.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is what it is. You live and you learn, and you know, I kind of had to sit back and reevaluate the girls that I was talking to, and they all kind of had the same pattern. Not all my exes, but the ones that cheated on me all had the same pattern.
Yeah.
So that shit's sad.
It does sound depressing, honestly.
Right. What's the next question? What is the best gift you've ever given a partner?
Oh man,
my love.
That's a good answer. My all, and it still ended up being
not enough.
That's it's true. It's true.
Okay, but so I like to give little trinkets and little gifts like I'm not gonna be the dude to buy a dozen roses. I'm not gonna buy you a dozen roses for Valentine's Day, but I'm gonna buy you one rose on April 27th of whatever random day. Just one rose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, little trinkets. But I like to do bigger gifts when it's like an achievement type thing.
Yeah.
Like anniversary, obviously. Birthdays. But I like to do it like, oh, you know what? You graduated from college. Here, I bought us tickets to so-and-so.
Yeah.
Or, you know, hey, good job. You passed the semester with a 4.0. You know, I bought you this. I bought you this. But it's more so like experience. I pay for experience, not materialistic. I'm not going to buy you a purse, but I'm going to buy you a ticket so we can go spend a week in
wherever.
Right. So I guess that would be, I would consider the best gift that I've given.
Yeah.
What about you?
Best gift, a different scenario, but probably the best gift I've ever given. I don't know. It's going to land more on the materialistic side. Yeah. But probably an engagement ring. I'd probably say that's the best gift I've given.
Right.
So, you know, that'd be my answer.
Yeah.
Chill out, man.
Yeah.
What is your favorite love song in general? What's your go-to favorite love song?
Well, what kind of love song are you talking about?
Like making love? Or,
yeah, like making love, or
Just
me,
in
or
general.
me, or me missing somebody.
In general.
I don't think I have one favorite.
No?
It's like a playlist.
Yeah, I
You
feel
know?
you.
You can't go wrong with Secondhand Serenade. They got some bangers.
Can't go wrong with Ursher, baby.
Some Neo.
Yep.
Chris Brown got some hits. Oh, Chris Brown got some hits. No pun intended.
Okay.
Yeah, the old school R&B. You know, Tank, Keisha Cole, old school Beyonce,
Jay Holiday.
Let's
go. Any R&B.
Right. But you know there are some of those.
Okay, Ray J.
Right.
What's that one song? One Wish when
Sexy-
he's dancing in the rain.
Oh, Sexy Can I?
Sexy can I? I hit it first. Oh my gosh.
But I think one love song that I can listen to on repeat is probably "Fall for You" by Secondhand Serenade.
Yeah.
That song was super underrated.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. For me, and I grew up, and I grew up on like sad, depressing music.
Right.
But probably anything by Chase Coy. I'm not sure if you heard of that. Heard of him. But yeah, Chase Coy.
Can you sing us a little?
Here's an example of a song.
Wait, are we able to play it though?
I'm not gonna play it, but I'll tell you like a song by him. If the Moon Fell Down Tonight, that's a really, really good one.
How does that go?
I'm not gonna sing. Lullaby, All Those Nights Never Changed. Like anything by Chase Coy, that was like my go-to.
Okay.
So,
ooh, anything by Latia too.
I don't know who that is.
Cheap Date.
Oh, well, yep.
That song.
I can sing it. All right, it goes.
That shit was like Asian Town, MySpace. Oh, bro.
Yeah. All right.
Those are bangers.
Next question, my guy.
Next question. What is your favorite date night movie?
Ooh, okay.
This is situational based too.
Yeah, it really is. But my go-to is always action comedy because I just like action movies.
Right.
I don't know if that's like just the manliness of a person, a guy, but I like that comedic spin on it. So, yeah, action comedy. But yeah, what about you?
I'm a simp.
Yes, you are.
Nah, I'm a simp for chick flicks.
Yeah.
You know, Walk to Remember, Notebook, The Vow, Dear John. For some reason, I've always liked those movies, especially Dear John.
Mm-hmm. I feel you on that one.
Well, I like Dear John because of the whole dad scene, because I can kind of relate with my dad.
Yeah.
That's why I like that movie. But if not, it would have to be just straight comedy. Dumb and Dumber. Step Brothers.
Yep.
You know, something that sets the mood.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, living life by a comedy I like to live life by comedy. Yeah, so that's a good one.
Right. Would you prefer to cook a romantic dinner or do a romantic dish? As in, like, go to a restaurant or...
That's tough because it really depends. I think if you go on dates, well, no. Okay. No, if you cook the dinner and have them invite them over, I think that's way more romantic because you did it.
What if they say the food's gross?
Then you go out for dinner. I'm just kidding.
Well, okay,
Here, if they say it's gross, but the thought of it is still romantic. I think, yeah, I'm going to go with that.
So, like, for your situation, right? You're a vegetarian.
Yep.
But let's say she's a meat eater. Are you cooking a steak for her?
Yes.
Are you?
I don't know if it's going to be good, but I'll do it, you know.
Burn the shit out of it. But, yeah, so your answer would be dinner at home. Like, you cook it.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's like I think that's like some cute shit, you know?
Right.
Honestly, have some music in the background and invite them over and just talk. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's like romantic as hell.
Right.
What about you?
I like both in different situations.
Mm-hmm.
Going out to eat, anniversary, birthdays.
Yeah.
Romantic dinner. I feel like it's more romantic when both people cook dinner together.
Yeah.
You know what I
agree with
mean?
that. Mm-hmm.
Because then you guys can kind of joke around while you guys cook.
Yeah, you can go behind them and hold their waist. Or
Right, you guys could be sipping on wine while you guys are cooking, and you know, after 2 hours of cooking scrambled eggs, you're like, "This is what we got." You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Because you
ramen noodles
created that shit together.
Right. It took you 2 hours to make ramen noodles and scrambled eggs, but hey, y'all did it together. That's 2 hours. That's 2 hours spent together.
And that's the thing with that. You can never get time back. The time that you spend with them is precious. And that's cute. That's cute.
And I think that's why, like, a romantic dinner is romantic when both partners are cooking.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
100%.
But if it's a first date, like I said, I would.
You know how cute that shit is? Like, when you both live in New York and you both walk home to your apartment and you start cooking food.
Damn, we got to be making money to live in New York, though.
That's some Hallmark movie type thing.
Lifetime.
Oh, man. What am I doing here?
This is our last episode of the podcast.
Before we move to the East Coast.
And find our lovers.
Okay, next question. Okay. Ooh. What is something important you've learned from another couple?
Do you have an answer for this? Like off the top of your head?
It kind of went off with one of our questions prior. Communicate.
Right.
And it goes deeper than that too. Have date nights. All right.
Keep the relationship active.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and this is something that I suffered with, especially from my last.
And you learned this from somebody else's relationship?
No, this is from my own, but even with honestly, I can look at one of my family members' relationship and going back to that and seeing what they went through is to, when you love someone, oh man, and this quote is from the movie 17 again with Zac Efron. No, when she said, you know, I love your dad, but sometimes that's not enough. When you love someone, you need to do more than just love them. Right. And honestly, after going through what I went through, that shit broke my heart. Like, honestly, it did. And it's funny because that was at Lollapalooza last year. Oh, and my siblings and my sister-in-law was there. Right. And my brother-in-law was there. And that was tough.
You were like seventh wheeling, huh?
Pretty much. I don't want to say that because my friend Kenny was there. Kenny Hoopla.
But he was performing, though.
Mm.
So
I don't know. Yeah. So
that's what you learned from another couple?
Yeah, is to go more than beyond than just saying I love you.
Right.
You know, you both love each other. We get that. But what does that mean? Right. You have to keep trying. And that's what I suffered. What about you?
I think for me, I've seen couples that I've known personally not give up what they want, right? Mm-hmm. But to like not give it up, but be considerate of your partner's feelings type thing. Like for example,
excuse me.
Let's say you're like an avid pool player. Mm-hmm. Like you like to shoot pool.
Right. You have hobbies.
Right. But, you know, your partner doesn't like going to the bars. Mm-hmm. You know, you might have to take a little step back from pool and kind of make your partner happy at the same time to make it work.
Uh-huh.
So you're not giving up your enjoyment. You're just you're reprioritizing your priorities.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like with you, you know, it was breakdancing and all that. And then when you got into a relationship, you had to step back and be like, okay, my priority isn't breakdancing no more. It's, you know, your significant other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you put all your eggs in the basket.
And then when you have a child, you're like, okay, I have to rearrange my my shit now, because now it's not wife, career, friends. Now it's child, wife, career, friends. You're rearranging your priorities. So I feel like that's something that I learned from other couples is you have to be willing to rearrange your priorities, but that doesn't mean change your values. Priorities and values are two different things.
That's a fact.
It is. Values are something that you never want to change.
Yeah, and that's
because if your partner's going to try to make you change your values, that's not the partner for you.
Yeah,
it really isn't.
Yeah, and that's the tough shit I had to learn. So,
all right, ready, Eric?
Yeah.
Next question: how would you approach a person that you're interested in, whether it's in person or through message? What is the first thing you're gonna say?
Here's the thing. As I mentioned, I haven't been in a relationship in 12 years because the person I was with dated since high school, and we got married, had a child. So it's like I stepped into a time machine, and like I don't know what to say because
you're still in that high school phase, right?
I came in a time where we were saying "rar," right? But one thing I've noticed about myself is that I've always started the conversation is, "How are you doing?" Right?
Do you think that works though?
I don't know if it works, but it's just my go-to. It's like, "How are you doing?" It's like,
is this through message or in person, or do you have two different approaches?
I think both, but I think with prior podcasts that we've gone through,
right?
I don't know. It's just my go-to. It's like I don't. That's the thing. I don't approach potential significant others because, not saying that I don't talk to them, but like, and I'm saying like they come to me, but it's more so of like I talk to them as friends. So I guess that's why I talk. Like
you let it organically happen.
I think so. I think that's a good way to put it.
But don't you kind of have that fear of like, oh, I really like this person, but if I talk to her as a friend, she's just gonna think of me as a friend and nothing more? Because then you kind of put yourself in the friend zone.
Yeah, I try not to overthink things, but the people that know me in my life, I overthink fucking everything.
Right.
But I don't know. If I do, I do. I don't know. It's just the person I am.
Right.
As sad as it sounds, it's just who I am. So,
yeah. So for me, my last ex-girlfriend, I went up to her and I was like, "Hey, I know we don't really talk, but I'm kind of interested in you."
Ooh, that's actually, that's a good topic. How did you two meet?
At work, but
okay.
Besides the fact, yeah. So I went up to her and I was like, "Hey, I kind of like you. I want to get to know you. I'm not trying to be your friend. If you look at me as a friend, we can just hang out tonight. And after this, we don't have to hang out no more. So just let me know if you're curious. You know, if you're kind of curious about it, then we can continue talking. But if you already know you're gonna friend zone me, just let me know now so I don't waste my time." And that's how we started dating.
Wow. Okay.
Right. But I don't do that very often though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. But if it was a random girl, I would probably just go up to her and be like, "Hey, I think you're how are you?"
How am I? You start stuttering.
How high are you? No, I think I would just be like, "Hey, I think you're super pretty. Can I buy you a drink?"
Oh, okay.
And then she'd probably say no, and I'd be like, "Okay, bye." Taking notes.
Taking notes.
But I mean, obviously, it's not working because I'm single.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What mistake have you made in a relationship in the past that you don't want to repeat?
That's a really, really good one. And we've talked about it just with prior questions, this communication. Listen, my ex-wife, she's a very sweet person. Like, she is the sweetest person in the world. But it took me a very long time to understand that, yeah, we weren't meant to be together. And that was like a chapter in her life that, I wish that didn't end. But even though, like I mentioned, I put all my eggs into a basket, if I look back to it, I didn't listen. I didn't do the small things that she said. I wish I would have. But yeah, just really listen to them and just do those small things. Those small things build up. Right. They really, really build up. Like putting dishes into the sink and not on the side of the sink, right? Putting cans into the recycling bin and not onto the counter, right? Those small things really, really add up. And that's, I don't know, that shit ate me alive. I don't know. I just feel like, and I don't know. I just feel like the longer you know that person too is, I don't know, you tend to bring out the worst in each other. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think that's also why I have trust issues. But yeah, really, really listen to them. Because if you don't, you'll end up like me. So that's my answer.
Yeah, that was deep.
Yeah.
I don't know if my answer could top that one.
Yeah.
Ooh, excuse me. But for me, a mistake that I've made in the past that I don't want to repeat is holding on to a relationship, hoping that it's going to change, but knowing that it isn't. Because you're just wasting your time, you're wasting your partner's time. Yeah, the love might still be there, but deep down, you already know it's not going to work out. You know what I mean? And the longer you try to force it, it just hurts. It just ends up hurting more, because you're wanting it so bad, and then in the back of your head, you're like, even if we get 3-4 years down the line, we're gonna come back to the situation of why we're not good together. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But
I can relate to that.
Right.
Yeah. So.
So I guess to sum it up, it's just, if you have hints and signs that you know that your relationship's not going to work, bring it up, talk about it. Don't hide it and hope that it's going to change.
Yeah.
Because if you don't talk about it, it's not going to change.
Yeah. And to add to that, and when you bring it up, and it might be the fact that you two aren't meant to be together,
right?
Regardless of how much time you spent together, you just have to accept that fact. And I think that's the one thing I've talked to my therapist about is life throws you lemons, and things were meant to be that way. If you two don't sync, then that's it. You just have to learn and accept that thing.
And that's life. Realistically, that's life. Yeah. Like I tell everybody all the time. Like I tell my partners all the time. I'm like, at the end of the day, there's two options with us. It's either we work out or we don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know that going into a relationship too, which is the hard part.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I hate about relationships is, okay, I don't hate things, but I dislike it, is you can spend X amount of hours, days, years, decades together, doesn't mean you're meant to be together.
Right.
Maybe you're meant to be together in that time, but doesn't mean that you're meant to be together forever.
Right.
And that was the hardest thing for me to accept. So, you know, because I spent the last 12 years of my life thinking that person I'm going to grow old with and I'm going to be at my deathbed holding their hand together, being wrinkly like raisins, right? And it didn't end up that way. And that's just the harsh reality, is nothing is forever. And if you don't accept it, you're going to go crazy.
Oh, for sure.
So,
because who knows, maybe 5, 6, 7 years down the line, you know, you might be able to look back at it. You know, you're sitting here with your new partner and be like, man, I really love the girl that I'm with right now.
right. And that's what my, from our first episode with Ani, he's saying, you know, even though this happened, you might thank them one day that say, hey, I'm really glad that you left me. As shitty as that sounds, I wouldn't have met the person that I'm with today because of you. And
it's just kind of hard for us to envision that because obviously we're here with each other.
Right.
You know, but
yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Cat's like giving me the death stare.
Just kidding.
But yeah, well, those are our 16 questions on relationships.
Yeah. That was a tough one once it got towards the end. What's one question that you want to...
I mean, we can continue to talk for a little bit. What's our time right now? Oh, this is a short episode.
Yeah?
It was only 47 minutes.
Really?
So
that felt like forever.
After the few cuts, you're probably looking at just over 40 minutes.
Wow.
So we can keep talking for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want to give a shout out to anybody?
Okay. Shout out to our past guests, Ani, Tuming, and Greg. You guys have been awesome. You guys kept the conversation going. We will have you guys back. It's been fun.
Did you say we won't?
We will.
Oh.
Unless I did say that.
You guys suck.
Yeah, get out of here. But, you know.
Awesome people.
Yeah.
Very awesome people.
And
I think it would be super cool for them three to meet.
If we had a podcast of 5 people.
Our mixer's not...
We'll just have to pass it around, but, you know.
Ani, Greg, and Nikki the man can all share a mic. Even that, or even like if they just want to come over and just chill.
Yeah.
You know.
So.
But, yeah, thanks for our guest that's been on.
Yeah.
We have some special guests coming on in the near future. But we need you guys to keep on watching to make it happen.
Yeah, keep on watching, keep on subscribing.
The more activity we get from you guys, the higher level of guests will come on.
Yeah, and no pressure, because obviously we talked last year at a bar on a Wednesday night that we wanted to start a podcast, even if we don't get anywhere, which we probably won't. That's the attitude. But the whole point of this is to get have an outlet, right?
And it's like what we said before. You know, even if we don't take off, which we don't expect to, it's just a good way to get with friends. You know, to talk about stuff that you normally wouldn't talk about, like with Dumeng. You know, him being one of my other best friends, right? I probably wouldn't sit here and have a 20-minute conversation about his career.
Right.
I didn't even know he wanted to move to Texas.
You didn't?
No, I didn't know that until the pod. So, you know, that just kind of opens it up, and it's like the podcast is more for opening up and talking about what you really want to talk about. So,
10 out of 10.
Right. But do you see yourself back to relationships?
Okay.
Do you see yourself getting with a potential partner, let's say in the next 6 to 9 months?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
So by the end of the year, essentially.
Okay. Never say never. And I think I'm a freaking simp, bro. Never say never.
You're still on that The high school phase.
Yeah, right.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah. I never say never. This is tough. But perhaps, maybe, I'm a firm believer in what comes in your life. Anything can happen, right?
Right.
So I'm open to anything. But I think the number one thing I want to focus on is myself. Because for the last 12 years, I haven't been doing that.
Your priorities were somewhere else.
Right. And that's why I was trying, and I've told you, and no one knows, is that I'm trying to go back to who was I before that person, right? How was I able to achieve happiness before I met that person? And that was breakdancing. That was starting a band. That was hanging out with my friends as much as possible. Not having to worry about money, which obviously won't happen because
that's part of it. That's part of becoming an adult.
Yeah, and but yeah, so maybe I'll get back to breakdancing. Maybe I'll start another band.
Right.
Maybe obviously I'm gonna try to hang out with friends more. Stay busy.
No, we just need to find friends that want to hang out.
Right. I want to find friends that want to go hiking with me.
Right.
You know? But yeah, that's my answer. What about you?
But you didn't really answer the question.
What?
Do you see yourself getting with somebody in the next 6 to 9 months?
I said perhaps. Yeah, perhaps. I'll never say never, right? That's my answer.
I guess.
I'm not going to say definitively yes, but anything can happen.
Right.
I could become a simp in a week.
I hate the word simp. I really do.
I don't know, but yes, master.
I think for me, who knows? Me personally, I like to have it organically happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't like. Okay, the very, very few times that I've gone up to women and hit on them or whatever, my rate is like 40, 60.
I've never done that,
right.
so I don't know my score.
So I really don't hit on women, but I like to let it organically happen.
Yeah.
If I meet somebody somewhere and we exchange numbers and we just slowly start talking and it leads to something more, and by the end of the year we're together, so be it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna actively pursue it if I don't feel that vibe from you as well.
I feel that.
Because I'm a person who can't. I don't catch on to hints.
I don't either.
Like you either have to be.
You have to tell me.
Right.
I'm dumb.
Right. Tell me you like me, because if not, I'm just gonna assume that
we're friends.
Right.
What's up, homie?
If you kiss me, I'm just gonna assume that you kissed the wrong person.
If you hold my hands, I'm assuming you meant for the other guy.
Right. And then when they do that and you say that shit, it's like
when you hug me, it's group hug.
Right. Fucking one of the homie hugs with the handshake and one hand behind the back. And at that point, it just kind of shows the girl like, oh, maybe he's not interested. But tell me that you like me.
Right.
So I know how to act.
Just be blunt.
Right.
Why is that so tough as we're struggling with it?
Wait. Maybe we should be blunt too then.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, do your thing.
I hate you. Can you imagine?
No, but you're saying you like the girl.
What?
You be blunt about it. You have to tell the girl that you like her.
Yeah. I like you. You're cute. You're attractive. I'm
Riz.
a frog. You're a princess.
Riz.
You probably think I'm a creep, so I'm going to go back to the closet.
I'm going to crawl back into my little hole.
Like a spooter. But let's do one more final question to close out the podcast. Okay. Random, not out of relationship.
If you had to be a fruit.
Back to that again, huh?
Back to episode 1.
Okay. Okay, here's a question. Obviously, I've always worn skinny jeans.
Right.
What is your perspective on tight pants? From the moment it came out. From the moment not the moment it came out, but the moment it became popularized.
What, skinny jeans?
Yes.
So skinny jeans are they're difficult.
Yeah.
Because when they first came out, they had a bad look. I thought they looked funny.
Yeah.
But there are different types of skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Because your pants are skinny jeans, right?
Yeah.
My pants are skinny jeans.
Okay.
And my pants look like Slims,
Yeah.
you know. But I don't know, if you can rock them, you can rock them.
Yeah.
But just don't have them so tight where your junk's sticking out, and you know, you're purposely forcing it, or they're so tight where you can't pull them over your thighs.
Yeah.
And then you just strap them around your thighs. you know,
mm-hmm.
That's the you're a jerk era.
Yep.
You know,
new boys.
right?
Yep.
Where they're like damn near at your knees. They're fucking buckled at your knees. Trying to jerk with that shit.
That was
on.
an interesting time.
Right. Well, back to you. You've never been a big fan of wearing hats, right?
Yeah.
So what is your take on hats?
I have no problems with that. I just can't wear it.
Why? Is it your head shape or what?
I think it's my head shape and my hair. I just don't think I look good in hats. So I've never worn hats. I've worn beanies.
Right.
But not like snapbacks or like strapbacks or any kind of caps.
See, I've always been a hat person.
Yeah.
For the
Yep.
For the longest time. I wear a hat every day.
Yeah. I just don't think I look at them, but it's also because of my hair. It's also because it's just not you, right? It depends on the person.
You know why? You know why I started wearing hats?
Why?
Because I was very insecure about my white hair.
Really?
That's if you go all the way back.
Wow.
That's the reason why I started wearing hats all the time.
I did not know
because
that.
I got tired of people asking me why I had white hair.
Wow.
But you got to remember, I was like friggin' 15 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, yo, are you an old man or something? And when you're like 14, 15, you're like,
dude, it's just my genetics.
Right, and that's technically the way that, if depending on how they say it, it's a form of bullying.
Yeah.
And man, if I was the same size I am now, back when I was 14, 15,
I'm a unit.
Right, it'd be different. All these freaking people who used to make fun of Asian people in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for a 20-year reunion.
Yeah.
There's so many people I want to say something to, but I'm not, because I'm a bigger person than you. Fucking
That's
scumbags.
a sad thing too. I've experienced, and you obviously have, just like
bullying.
Yeah, bullying and racism, and that's the unfortunate part of growing up as a minority.
Right.
It just sucks, right? I've had like even friends of different race and color that have said that stuff, and even though they say it as a joke, but they keep saying it.
But there's a fine line between joking and offensive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you joke with me like, oh, put the dog away so Blong doesn't eat it. Okay, whatever, that's funny. But if you're like, hey Blong, look, it's your fellow gooks. Like, bruh.
Look, it's go work on the train tracks.
Right, and it's like, okay, that's pushing it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're walking, or like my friends walking up to me with their freaking fingers like this. Like this. Like,
right.
Bro,
I've had that happen.
Right, and
times.
it's like, bro, your eyes are smaller than mine. Like, fucking chill.
I think there's a thing with me where it's like, yeah, I don't care if you joke about it, but you keep repeating it.
Right.
Repeating it. It's also like, bro, not only that makes me mad, but that breaks my heart because of like, why?
Yeah, see, you and me got different perspective. Like,
Yeah.
you get like, not emotional about it, but like it hurts you.
Yeah.
I just dish it back.
Yeah.
I dish it back and I tear them down.
Yeah.
I tear them down till everybody stops laughing and I make the room awkward.
And then
you know what I mean?
And then you beat
like like if I'm in a room full of like, nah, I'm not gonna say it because it's on camera, but like if I'm in a room full of certain people,
right,
and they say like, oh, Blonde eats dog and da da da, and I'll be like, well, dude, like general idea.
That's kind of funny. No,
right,
I'm just kidding.
but see, but when Asian people say it to Asian people, it's funny, right?
It still hurts. No, I'm just kidding.
But like but like for some of our friends, I'll be like, bro, go back down to Alabama and go fuck your cousin.
Okay.
You know what I mean, though?
That's tough.
You know what I mean, though? You just got to learn to dish it back.
That's tough.
Because if they're gonna come up to me, ching chong, gook this, gook that, ching chong, gook this, gook that, slanted eyes, white haired, fat Asian boy.
That sounds personal. That sounds personal.
Fucking hate these people, man. I don't know why they're my friend. Nah, none of my friends have ever called me fat boy.
That's tough.
But yeah, you just got to learn to dish it back.
I get it. I get that. Okay.
Sorry, I got a little into my feels on that one.
A little personal on that one. Okay.
Once you heard that white hair.
That's that's how you know it hit the feels.
Damn. But one of our episodes that we have to do is our dad episode.
Yeah.
We have to talk about our relationship with our dad.
Mm-hmm. That's a tough one.
Yeah, especially for you. I've kind of.
I think for you too.
Yeah, but for you, like I've seen you. We've been friends for so long. I've seen the situation with you and your pops, and now that we have a platform to kind of talk about it, we have to get that episode in if you're willing to.
Yeah.
Because with me, my experience with my father and your experience with your father are a little different.
Mm-hmm. Similar, but yeah.
Yeah.
Vastly different.
So just kind of give you guys a brief idea. My pops passed away in 2017. So in an upcoming episode, we're gonna get more into it. I guess just kind of the idea of like what I wish I would have said to him,
mm-hmm.
How I dealt with the death of my father, and just childhood growing up with them type thing. Yeah. I don't know what you would be willing to talk about with your pops.
Yeah, and obviously the viewers don't. So I've never had a great relationship with my parents. Growing up into my teenage years, getting kicked out, going to college to prove them wrong, kind of thing.
Right.
And still kind of trying to make them proud. Yeah, I've never had the greatest relationship with my parents, especially my dad. But we gotten better over time. But that might just be because you and I are getting older that we are starting to understand things. But
I feel like with you though, it was the moment that you became a dad.
You think so?
I think so. And I feel like if I were to have a child when my dad was still alive, I feel like my perspective
might have shifted a little bit.
Yeah, like I think I would have been closer to my pops. But he passed away when I was what? He passed away in 2017.
That's 5 years ago.
Yeah, so I was like 21, 22.
6 years ago.
I was 21 because I was turning 22.
Yeah.
2017. So it's like, shit, I was still trying to go kick it at 21.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like if my pops was still here now and I was to have a conversation with them now, most definitely I would attempt to more. But yeah, sadly I don't have the opportunity.
Yeah,
that's why I tell everybody all the time. No matter how bad you hate your dad,
no one's here forever.
Talk to him, right?
Yeah.
And that's funny because I was watching this. I was on Instagram, and I seen this podcast clip, right?
Yeah.
And the dude was like, "Let's do it for you, Young." Or you want to be called Young, or you want to be called Eric?
It doesn't matter.
All right, let's do it for you, right? How long do you think your dad has left on Earth, like alive?
Okay. 20, 25, okay, maybe 30.
Let's say 25, right in the middle. How often do you see your dad?
Before they came back, maybe a week, a year, maybe even that. Prior to that, maybe once a year.
So once a year, right? So in a broad perspective, you look at it, right? And you're like, I got 25 years left with my dad. right?
Yeah.
But you see him once a year, and you said he's going to be alive for 25 years.
25 times.
You're only going to see him 25 more times.
Yeah.
That shit's fucking crazy. When I heard that, I'm like, dude, that's fucking crazy. If you really think about it, like...
That's the thing. I don't know why I think like this, but before I shut my eyes every single night, I think of, like, not the worst possible things, but, like, there's a chance I might not be here tomorrow.
Right. That's the crazy
and, like,
part.
It's okay for you, but the effect that you would have on someone else is, like, substantial.
Right. Like, for you, I feel like, dude, if you were just to not wake up tomorrow, dude, your daughter's life is just flipped upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still young, but...
Yeah.
All right. We didn't want to get too deep into the death talk.
But we'll leave that into...
Hope maybe if we don't have a guest next week, we'll have our dad episode next week.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So,
but let's wrap this up.
We're an hour in.
So
it was one of the shorter episodes. This is kind of the general time that we did want to keep our podcast time to. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Once again, oranges stay oranges, bananas stays bananas.
My shoes are tan. My shoes are always tan, and my pants are always tight.
Once again, my name is Blanc.
And my name is Eric.
And this is Everybody versus Life. Peace.